This is Robert with Hudson John Deere. Wanted to do a quick video to talk about setting up a gator or side-by-side for driven boundaries here. This has been about the best setup that we have come up with. You take a bar, attach it to the grill, make it adjustable with a little chain or a rope that'll drag the ground. There's been some confusion and some questions in the last few years about exactly how driven boundaries are recording. So I'm hoping to clear this up a little bit. When you put your offset for your boundary recording in the display, majority of customers make it the outside of the left front wheel so they can look at it when they're driving. Now, the first question is, what does that recording source mean? That recording source, the outside of the left front tire, is the same as the imaginary line between two passes. So with that having been said, you know if you're pulling a 30-inch corn planter, you got an imaginary line in the ground between two passes. From that imaginary line, there should be a corn row 15 inches to one side, 15 inches to the other side. So what that's going to look like on this, if the recording source is set up on the outside of the front tire, you pull this up here, set that up for 15 inches. You know your first row unit is going to be in the ground here. So you can measure out 15 inches on the planter and say, okay, that's where my recording source is. Anything that hangs out farther than that is where this bar comes into play. So let's say you've got a marker that hangs out, let's just round up and say 30 inches past the first row unit. So you know 15 inches, and then you know you're going to be another 15 inches out to here. So you put this bar out 15 inches to signify your marker. And you want to make sure when you're driving the boundary, you keep that bar away from obstacles, trees, ditches, stuff like that. I hope this makes a little bit of sense. This is a little bit hard one to explain, but I hope this sheds a little bit of light on exactly how we've been setting them up here lately, and this has really been a big help. You just have to remember, if you set up the outside of the front tire as your recording point, remember your first row is either going to be typically 15 inches in from that, because most guys are doing this for corn planting. Of course, on a bean planter, 15-inch bean planter would be 7.5 inches. And then you can base that on your measurements on your planter to signify where you need to put your bar to make sure you don't get the planter into anything. And you can go from there. Thanks for watching.